Hi guys, Paulina here, sports rehabilitator from Nottingham Physio, and what we're doing here today is we're doing a hopping progression. So great exercise for ankle or knee injury rehab, and what we're going to do is show you a couple of stages of how to progress your hopping practice. So hopping, pushing off the same leg and landing on the same leg, okay? If you haven't done any hopping before and you haven't done any jumping before, jumping and landing activities, it's worth starting on our previous videos where we've done the leaping practice and then progressing to hopping practice. So hopping, same leg push off, same leg landing. I'll show you first progression, and it's going to be simply just a forward hop. So for our forward hop, we're starting in a running stance position. You want to make sure you're trying not to look down at the ground. You want to stay nice and tall and look forward if we can. Okay, so we're trying not to rely on the visual to help us control the position of the landing. Now, a runner stance, halfway through the calf, toes to nose, balancing on one foot, trying to get our hands in the right positions as well. So, thumb up, the shoulder, back pocket, and all we're going to do here is just push up and land on the same foot, trying to retain the runner stance position as quickly as you can. Okay? And then again, after you pause for a second, you go bench. So that's our single leg hop. I'll just show it from a different angle as well. So I start in runner stance position, hop forward, control that movement, get back up. Hop forward, control that movement, get back up. What we're trying to avoid is they kind of collapse or drop the knee, so with the internal rotation of the hip and the knee band dropping in, as well as the foot dropping into the ground. So you want to make sure that you end up in that position like a single leg squat, controlling the movement and getting back up to your runner stance straight away as you can. Now, our progression for our hop practice, we're going to do a triple hop next. It's a little bit more continuous than a single leg hop. So we do 3 hops all together. The last one is where we want to stick the landing. So stick the landing means, as we've done before, we want to pause, stop, get back up to a runner stance. So that's a stick, okay, and then I'm only pushing off when I've kind of reacted and absorbed the force and got myself back up to starting position. Now when we're doing a triple hop, we're not going to have as long of a break between our hops. We're still going to start and go nice and slow as you grow a bit more comfortable with the movement and as you get a bit better at the activity. You can start making the distances between hops a little bit bigger and the breaks between hops a little bit shorter. But for the start at the beginning, we do it nice and slow and focus on good controlled landing between the next position, okay? So again, starting in runner stance position, we go 1, 2, 3. The third one is the one that we stick, and then we come back up to our runner stance position. So again, I'm just going to change the angle so you can see it from a different side. Starting in runner stance position, we go 1, 2, 3, and we stick the landing on the last one. So we're not rushing it, we're not trying to jump a maximum distance here, we're just getting used to the activity. As I said, as you progress through your practice, and you get more comfortable with movement, you can go a little bit faster between your jumps, or you can increase that distance between each jump as well. At the beginning, just learn to absorb the force and land with good control. Now, next progression, we're going to do some lateral hopping, and if you want to, you can use a marker on the floor, so that just helps you to kind of realize whether or not you're moving quite a lot in around the spot that you're jumping on. Sometimes it's a line, a sticker, or anything like this may be quite useful. But all I'm going to do here today is just show you what we're trying to do. Now, we're going to do some lateral continuous hopping. So same leg, going to go side to side. Okay, so you'll see why adding some marker may be quite beneficial for this, for the quality of the landing, and for the quality of your jumps. But essentially, you're going to go do continuous lateral hops, and what we're trying to build it up to is doing it continuously for about 30 seconds at a time, okay, and just comparing it right to left and seeing how many you can do on the right at the same time how many you can see on the left. Now, if you've got a marker that you can use, okay, so it can be absolutely anything, okay. Now make sure that the markers are relatively soft. You're trying obviously not to land on the marker. If you land on the marker, that's an error. We're not counting that repetition, okay? And we want to make sure that it's not, it's not too wide. So I'd say probably something about 20 to 40 centimeters would be all right. the bigger, the more difficult it is. Initially, I would usually start with something just flat on the floor, so maybe like drawing a line on the floor, sticking a piece of tape on the floor and jumping over this will be a bit easier. If you want to challenge yourself, you can use something that's a little bit elevated surface, but still a soft surface to land on if you do end up landing on it, and that way you can just progress the activity. So again, the idea is the same, trying to hop over to your sides, trying to control the movement, trying to do as many as you can within your 30 seconds. Then we'll swap legs, and again, you would go side to side. You've got now some work to do in around landing in the same area or same position. If you land on the marker, as I said, not with a hand repetition, all you do is just continue jumping through. And as I said, starting on a flat surface, stick your tape on the floor may be quite beneficial as part of your progression from here. Okay? Now, the next progression for hopping practice is going to be multi-directional hopping. And for multi-directional hopping, same leg, stay on, and all we're trying to do is introduce this 90-degree turn that we've done for leaping. So, starting with the single leg stance, starting in our runner stance position, we're going to push up, turn, and land on the same foot, and then again, make sure you stick the landing before you push up again, and off we go. Trying to make sure you control the landing, you need to drop the foot down for 3 seconds, just try and come back to it as quick as you can. Obviously then what will happen is you would just swap legs. Now again, when you get quite comfortable with the movement, when your landings are really good, you can increase the distance of your jumps, that's a bit of a progression, or you can just try and do the jumps a little bit faster. So again, you're going to start in your runner stance, make sure that you stick the landing before you push off again, trying to control that position. Now you control it, push off again, and push off again. Okay? So these are hopping progressions, and now you can play around with those if you're not quite confident with doing the lateral one over an object. Just make sure you do it just on the floor at first, then stick maybe a piece of tape on the floor, or have something relatively flat on the floor and quite narrow so that you can practice that, and then you can challenge yourself by adding a little bit of a distance and just focusing on the quality of the landing. For a single leg hopping, with the rotation, again, just build up towards this, make sure you're comfortable with movement. You start with a nice small jump, and then you can progress the height as you go along, depending on how it's feeling, how it's reacting, and how good of the control you've got on the landing when you do a single leg hopping. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.